Actually, I'm some kind of neutron highway. Every second star is neutron star. I don't know.
Right, can you hear me this time then?
No, I mean it was not intention. It was I don't know. I just planned the route, and it's just like this.
Yeah, if you're doing a trip this long, if you don't filter them out, you're going to come across them sooner or later.
All right, I guess I'm ready to head back out.
It's okay for me. I found my first discovered neutron stars, at least 3.
Oh, very nice. I don't think I've ever first discovered one. Maybe this trip, maybe this trip.
Yeah, I changed my mind. I went back to neutrons, cut down. That's quite a few. That's quite a change from 41 to 63.
Yeah, all golf balls and gas giants here.
Yeah, I just figured I'd just be careful when I get into those neutrons. And I ran into one straight away, second jump.
Yeah, there's one of the guys at the meetup tonight did that, ran into the neutron star at the meetup point. He was in external camera, I think, and by the time he realised, he melted his FSD.
Ouch.
Yeah, he did have an AFMU, but only one. So I don't know how. I assume even if he knocked it out entirely, he could have done a reboot repair and then repaired it with the AFMU from there, perhaps.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
I just kind of try to stay closer to the tail of the thing.
Yeah, I try and go in right at the very end where it's fading out. Mind you, sometimes it takes me kind of 3 or 4 swoops through to get the charged thing. I don't always get it straight away. I don't do it very often, so I'm not that good at it. That's probably also why I have so much trouble with the star map to actually get to use it properly, because I'm sure people who do it all the time can do it all the time.
Yeah, I keep thinking of that thing. When you think you can't get hurt, that's when it's going to happen. You just get too cocky.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's a bit bizarre. I like to engineer my ships for maximum jump range, because, you know, it helps with jumponium when you're trying to get, like, to the far away places, but I don't really feel the need to hurry by doing neutron stars, because I, like, you know, I'll fly at whatever my jump range is, but I want to kind of, like, look along the way, so if I skip, like, 3 jumps, that'll be 3 opportunities to find something that I'll feel like I've missed. So that's another reason I kind of tend not to use them, I think. But the main one is they scare me.
I can see that. If I'm out exploring, I probably would never use them. Unless it was time to go home and I wanted to get there quickly, but...
Yeah. Hey, do you use EDSM or ED Discovery? I'm sort of looking around in there trying to figure it out, and I can figure out how to do a few interesting things, but what I'd like to do is find out, like, some sort of list or inventory of you know, Earth-like worlds or water worlds or, you know, whatever category of thing I've discovered. Is there any way to do that?
You know, the thing is, to be honest with you, I didn't even download those 2 programs until this mission. So I really don't know. I've never used any third party.
Oh, right. You know about the same as me then.
Yeah.
I got the EDSM account I signed up for, and I downloaded ED Discoverer. Yeah. So I updated it all, and it's got all my stuff in there. Not actually from when I started. It's picked a weird point. I don't know if some log files got corrupted or deleted or something. It's picked up from about a week in rather than right from the beginning.
All right, well,
Sure
I can help you with that, because that did the same to me. And what I did, I went into my actual game files on my computer and pulled up all my logs, and I manually put them in. Way back from the beginning.
Right, yeah, I did that too. Maybe I didn't scroll down right to the bottom, and I missed a few off the bottom then, perhaps. Anyway, at that point I had a hauler and about 200,000 credits, so it hasn't missed a lot. It's fine.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
But yeah, you know, I can't make a bookmark of every planet I discover to like look back at later. So I've since the information's all in EDSM, I was wondering if there's any way to see it.
Yeah, there probably is. And man, I can't imagine that many bookmarks. But I know a lot of people do that.
Well, I'm assuming there's some upper limit to bookmarks, but in any case, even if there's not, I don't want to have to scroll through thousands and thousands of them. So I bookmarked the first couple of water worlds I found, and the first couple of Earth likes, and the first couple of what's the other one? Ammonia. But I don't want to bookmark every single one, but I would like to be able to look through them. Just seems EDSM is an ideal tool for that, because it must know about them all, because it gives you the credit for you know, when you discover an Earth like you get a badge, and when you discover a water world you get a badge, so it knows when you do it.
It's kind of like Santa Claus. He knows who's naughty and who's nice.
Yeah.
Asticon seems pretty knowledgeable about it. I was going to ask him one of these days.
Yeah, I might ask him when he comes on. He's bound to know.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm sure there's any number of people that are, you know, pretty good at using it. I just don't know them. And Asticon, for some reason, to me, when he talks about something, it always seems pretty easy to understand and concise. And so I kind of thought, well, one of these days I'll bend his ear.
Yeah, he's a clear thinker. Unlike that Trackman guy. Sorry, I should stop going on about him.
Oh, I know, but I don't know if you heard me at one point. I said, you know, this reminds me of that story about Peter and the Wolf. You know,
yes, I did.
You're not going to be able to believe anything he says now.
No, indeed.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
Four or five jumps and I'm yet to not get into a neutron star. What the heck?
Are you filtering for them, or is it just happening?
No, I've got it filtered.
Well, there you go.
But at the start of the expedition, there weren't that many. There's getting to be more and more. The
Evening all.
the starfield. Good evening. The starfield seems to be getting pretty bright.
Works.
Yeah, well, I suppose, you know, compared to the beginning, we are noticeably close to the core, so I guess we should expect that kind of thing.
Just wait until you get really close to the core, like if you go to a Sagittarius A star. If you don't want to go to Beagle after going from Colonia, I would suggest that. It's not that far out of the way.
3, 2, 1.
Oh no, I'm going back to the bubble after this, and when I go to the core, I'm going to change ship. My next exploration trip after this, I want to go to the core, and then go either up as high as I can or down as low as I can. I haven't decided which yet. I've heard you can get a couple of thousand light years. From the
I've
centre.
been, what was it, about 2,000 light years above Waypoint 10, which is about the maximum you can do in the outer rims. If you want to go higher, do it around the core, because there seem to be more stars there high up.
Yeah, that's kind of about what I heard, a couple of thousand light years. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to do that in a different ship.
Cool, cool. What are you flying right now then?
An Orca. For fun. My turbo Orca. It's hella fast. It's got like lightweight everything except for the thrusters, which are 6A dirty dry 5s, and it's nearly 600 meters a second it does boost, and it just, the handle, it turns like so fast. It handles beautifully.
Frameshift drive supercharged.
Awesome.
But the biggest slots are restricted for passenger cabins and things, so it's got a very limited fit out for exploration. I haven't even got any AFMUs. I've got SRV, the scanners, a shield, a fuel scoop, and that's it.
AFMUs are overrated anyway, if you're a little bit careful. Anyway, I got a reboot, guys, so I'll be back in a few minutes.
Alrighty.
Okay, see ya.
Okay.
I know I've heard several people talking about going to Sag A. I've been there once, but I don't remember much about it. It was when I first started into this. And, you know, I'm pretty much a loner. In all the years I played this game, I haven't made any friends or anything. I pretty much just play solo. But, so, I've met quite a few pretty cool people. I'm hoping that I get back and get some engineering done. I might find somebody that wants to take a trip.
Yeah. Well,
Get your engineering done before the whatever's in the beta becomes actual.
Well, I'm guessing he's probably going to unlock them all, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Don't worry. I mean, there are some modules that you won't be able to re-get after the patch, but you'll still be able to get very, very good modules with post-patch engineering. You'll certainly get stuff that will make you very happy for exploration. So, I don't know how the new engineering system's going to work exactly, but I know how to find materials and things like that. So, yeah, if I've got nothing else to do and you want some help finding materials and stuff, hit me up, because I've done a lot of engineering.
I have a Google Doc somewhere around here that is the list of all of the geysers that produce all the materials that you could use for engineering. And you can just fly to those worlds. It's great.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I've been to those. They're neat. You get a big concentration of stuff in a very small patch, but once you've harvested it, it's like 2 weeks till you can go there again. And in the quantities that I've been gathering materials, it's just not enough. Like you get like 20 of something in one go, and I gather like 100 in a go.
Welcome back, Red.
So I just go to where you find them all the time, so it never resets. There's some stuff I'm looking forward to with the new engineering. Power distributors look like you can get good ones. Shield generators look like you can get good ones. And shield boosters look like you can get amazing ones. I think my best shield booster under the current system is about 64. I've seen people with 67, 68, and the theoretical maximum for the new system is going to be 72. So yeah, shield boosters could be epic.
Now, I think I heard you say, Kilo, that you're going to keep your grandfathered upgrades. If it is my understanding that you can transfer them, can't you?
Yeah, you can convert them to the new type of modules, and then you can like roll over with the new engineering. I'm gonna like get to know the new engineering before I do anything, but yeah, with new engineering, I'll probably only do it on new modules. There are some modules that, like the bonuses you can get are the same, but you can't get them both. So if you're very, very lucky, you can get a good primary roll on this with secondary effect that. When you go into new engineering, you can select secondary effect this or secondary effect that, but you'll never get them both. Under current engineering, sometimes you get them both. I've got frameshift drives with an over maximum optimal mass bonus and a fuel maximum use bonus, whereas in new engineering you select one or the other, you can't have both.
Yeah, I saw a video that said that when you convert, it automatically will take, like if you've got a level 5, it'll drop you down to the highest level 4, and then you start over with the new.
Yeah, that may be the case, but yeah, I've done a huge amount of engineering. I do it kind of in batches, so like I'll gather materials for hundreds and hundreds of rolls on whatever I'm doing, whether it's frameshift drive or thruster or power distributor or whatever, and then I'll modify all of the frameshift drives or thrusters or whatever on my whole fleet, rather than just doing one ship at a time.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Because then when you're in the place to get that material, you just stay there for a few days or whatever and get loads of it. It ends up more efficient in the end. I've modified a lot of stuff. And if the new engineering doesn't quite have the same secondaries, then I'll keep that stuff. I may still buy modules and do with new engineering for other ships if I want to, but for the most part, and I did what I did.
Yeah, I'm gonna just stock up on size 7 frameshift drives and engineer the crap out of them with the G5s now.
Yeah, the thing is with frameshift drives is you can get some amazing rolls, but they're rare. I've got 2 really, really good Class 6s. I don't know how many hundreds of rolls I've done on Frameshift Drive 5 to get those. Lots.
3, 2, 1.
Let me have a look at my... Let's look at my crafting stat. Crafting grade 5 upgrades generated to 2,821.
Wow, that's dedication for you.
Fuel scooping complete.
Yeah. Well, it didn't require all that much dedication because I was saying to Rude the other day, I enjoy most of the activities that you need to do to get materials. There's only a few that I don't like.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, I only ventured out into engineering over the past 6 weeks or so, but then again, I was out in the black for 7 months prior to that.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I love driving SRVs, so I like surface prospecting. I like running the bases to get the the cracked industrial firmwares and the modified embedded firmwares. I like convoy beacons, I like conflict zones, I like res sites. That's all like places you get materials. So I like all of that. Searching for specific USS can get a bit tedious, and scanning for data mine wake exceptions is a bit tedious because there's nothing really. That's just luck. You can't get better at scanning for wakes. It's just luck. So it's not something you can practice or improve on. You just got to sit there and do it. That's kind of why that sucks.
Yeah, I found that out when I was engineering the frame shifts.
Yeah. Did you find out about the distribution centers?
No, not played with those yet.
Okay, if you want to do frameshift drives again, you want to look for, EDDB? Go on there, look for systems in famine state. When you find the system in famine state, go in your galaxy map and plot it and check to make sure none of the sub-factions are in either war or civil war, because war or civil war spawn conflict zones and they overwrite the zone you're looking for. The zone you're looking for, if you find one without war or civil war, is distribution centre. Drop in there, and basically you've got a load of Type 9s that have got all the famine rations and stuff, and then people are just warping in, picking up their, bags of rice or whatever, warping out, and the place is just full of wakes the whole time. Just sit in one of those and scan like hell, and it'll still only be one drop in, 8, 9 or 10 scans, but they'll pile up.
Okay, that's a nice one. But what I usually do, if I do need to scan wakes, is just hang outside a busy station. You're 8, 9k out. You see everybody jumping out, just scan immediately. Pretty quick as well to go through lots of wake scans.
Yeah, I guess if you've got a high-tech system in Boom or a busy tourist system, you probably would get a lot of wakes there too. But yeah, having tried that myself, I got kind of moderate success. But having done the distribution center after that, I was like, well, whenever I want data mine wake exceptions again, I'm going nowhere else.
Okay, I'll remember that. Make sure there's a famine and no war.
Yeah, no war or civil war, because the conflict zone, same with anarchy outbreak systems. If you go in for convoy beacons, war or civil war spawns conflict zones and they overwrite the convoy beacon or the distribution center, whatever it is.
Cool, good to know. Thanks for the tip.
You're welcome, sir.
4, 3, 2, 1.
So, considering that I'm about 40 light years out of Waypoint 11, how many waypoints am I now behind?
Well, today is Waypoint 13. You've missed the Euro one, but the US one will be at 2200 Central Time, I think it was, or EST, I can't remember. The US one's later. So
yeah, but by that time I'll be in bed.
right, yeah. So okay, so you've missed Waypoint 13, which was today. So the next one to catch up for is Waypoint 14. Good news is you've got 2 days to do it. The meet's not till the day after tomorrow.
Wednesday, okay, I should be able to make that. I'll just go very quick.
Yeah, I did the same. I only set off last Tuesday, and they were at Waypoint 9, I think, Rohini, when I set off, and by Waypoint 10 I caught up the same day, but just missed the meet, and Waypoint 11 I was caught up.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I nearly caught up at Waypoint 10, and then I decided, so okay, let's see how far up I can go. So I went 2,000 light years up, I don't know, 70, 80 jumps, because it doesn't really go in a straight line anymore. Yeah, then I couldn't play for a few days, and now I have to make the time up.
Well, you know, it's not a race, so...
True.
There are some people who've done it already. I looked on the EDSM, there's people who've got 100% complete on it already.
And I noticed on EDSM there were people that were complete after like 2 days.
Wow. Well, I didn't hear about the thing till it had been going for nearly a week. So, yeah, I only started looking last Tuesday. But yeah, I saw the same thing.
Well, you know, it's up to them. Last time when I was on my way back from Colonia, it took me. I did it pretty quick, but it still took me 3 weeks.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it's a long way.
I know the last time I went to Colonia, it didn't take me that long, but, well, I kind of get to this mindset that, okay, one more jump. And then it's, okay, one more jump. And the next thing you know, I'm there. It's weird.
Yeah, well, what I've usually done is plot waypoints about 1,000 light years apart. I know that will take me an hour and a half if I take it easy and scan in between. So, you know, just divide the journey up in 22 such waypoints, 23, whatever it is. I must admit, the last 3,000 back to the bubble, you start running. I mean, you don't even scan anymore, just jump.
Yeah, well, you don't need to, because it's all been discovered like that far out anyway, right? So you've made your money already, right? Just get out, get home.
Well, I earned $750 million on my last trip out, but that was all the way to Beagle.
Yeah, I think I've. I mean, I won't get much at the end because I've been selling it as I go when I get to a station. I think I've done 30 million already, and like what, halfway there, just over. Maybe
that's
3/4.
not too bad.
And and I could have done a lot better because as I said, the first like up to Rohini, I was just playing catch up, so I was just nailing it as far as Rohini. I didn't really stop to scan anything. So really, the 30 million I made is since Rohini.
Yeah, when I go in catch-up mode, I don't even scan the star. It's jumping in, honking, and jumping on.
Oh yeah, man, my dashboard was smoking every jump that first couple of days when I was trying to catch up.
Sounds familiar. This is a bright star, O-class. Even more, there's 3 of them in this system. Then I see shinies. Oh, that's gonna take me time again.
felt sure I had a water world then. It was all blue and had an atmosphere and everything. HMC.
Okay, well I don't have to scan these Chinese because the habitable zone around this star is 11,000 light seconds out.
Yeah, you kind of get that with O-class, don't you?
Yeah, I've actually seen worse, I think. There's a giant O star not far from the edge of the abyss if you're coming back from Beagle, and that was filling up my whole screen.
Nice.
3,
How far out did you have to get before you could start seeing the edges?
I don't recall, I'm sorry.
Oh, no
I might be able to find a waypoint for you. I do believe I recorded it.
Oh, that'd be cool. What's the next DW expedition going to? Is that going to Beagle?
I would imagine they will, but I don't think they've got it plotted yet.
If you get to Colonia, there's one that's going to Beagle. It started like a couple days ago.
Yeah, I think it started on the 20th.
I'm not in the ship that I'm planning to take to Beagle, and I'm planning a different exploration ship before. But Beagle's a more long-term goal for me because this is like my first proper exploration trip. The next one I want to do after this, I'm going to go maybe via Colonia to the core, and then once I've done Saj Star, I'm going to go either up or down as far as I can, and then maybe the next trip after that I'll do Beagle. So it's one for the future. I'm thinking by the distant worlds I'll probably be about ready for that. It's either supposed to be late this year or early next year, isn't it?
Q4 this year or Q1 next year, yeah.
fuel scooping complete.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed doing this expedition, so I might sign up for that one and do it then if it's going there.
Yeah, I would like to too, but I've got to do some engineering before I do. I went on a mission. I can't remember what it was called. Something Cortina or something. I can't remember what it was, but the problem was I didn't have engineered, and I got to a point where I just didn't have the jump range to continue on.
Right, I posted the system name of that very big O-class star in the chat. You can pick it up from there. It's below Wisp.
Okay, yeah, I'll pick it up and bookmark it.
3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
You are welcome, sir. If you, by the way, use ED Discovery and you are far out exploring, etc., it's useful to call up the 3D map every now and again and look at some interesting points. That's how I picked up this big O star as well. Gives you something to do sometimes. Just, you know, might be a few thousand light years out of the way, but you get to see something interesting.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, I haven't had much when I say much, I mean any practice with ED Discovery yet, so I don't really know how to. Oh, well, I don't know the half of what it does.
Neither do I. I use a bit of it, but yeah, it has some amazing stuff.
2, 1.
Somebody asked what you wanted to know, mate.
About ED Discovery, like it's really awesome. It like you can save what blueprints you're working on planning on doing for engineers, and it will tell you when you've gathered enough resources. Like you can to say what points of interest are within 500,000 or within 5,000 light years of me, and it will tell you all the points of interest.
Can you ask it, like, where are all the water worlds I've discovered, or where are all the heavy metal content worlds I've discovered, or anything like that?
I haven't, but it does keep a running tally of, well, but EDDB and EDSM keep track of how many of those you've discovered.
Okay. How do you find that in EDSM?
3, 2, 1.
You look at your flight log on EDSM. Just show it as a list. Everything with a star in between is the first one discovered for EDSM. It's not the same first discovered as for Elite Dangerous, though.
How do you say, show me all the, I don't know, Earth-likes I've discovered, or show me all the neutrons I've discovered, or what have you?
I have not found a way yet to do that.
Complete.
You cannot do that because there is no that kind of searching possibilities. You can check your flight log. Each system which is marked with a yellow star, it is first discovered by you.
Yeah, but if there's so many, you can't find them. You can't find that one in the thousands if you can't filter them, right? I mean, I know it's got the information, because if you've discovered an Earth-like, you get a badge, or if you've discovered an ammonia world, you get a badge, so I know it knows the information.
4, 3.
You could send a request off to the developers, and they might be interested in doing that. Actually, I would find such a list interesting too.
Yeah, or if they could plot, like, coloured dots on the map, like where your Earth-likes you discovered, or your, well, whatever what the hell you want to filter for, anything that you've discovered. That would be neat.
That would be really neat indeed.
Yeah, this trip has gotten me the reward, or gotten me the badge on EDSM for finding a black hole, finding a neutron, finding an Earth-like, finding a water, and finding ammonia. Just this trip has gotten me all of those.
Oh, yeah. Good. You're lucky in the ammonia world. That took me forever to find one. I was actually on my way back already from Beagle, somewhere between Colonia and the bubble that I found one. Finally.
So I have no idea where I found it. I would love to go find that again.
Oh, well, I bookmarked my first. It's strange to hear you say that though, because I thought Earth-like worlds were they've been my duck. I mean, I've now found one, but I already found 2 ammonia worlds before I found my first Earth-like. That's to say, Earth-like that I discovered. I'd found Earth-likes, but they'd already been discovered by somebody else.
Yeah, I've found a number of Earth-likes, but how many I was first to discover, I couldn't tell you. How many do I have here?
I can tell you how many I've got, because it's 1, and I remember it, because it was only a couple of days ago. Man, I legged it to the nearest station I could find. Make sure I got my name on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be tagging SAG-A this trip, and I'm gonna be going to Beagle Point this trip.
It's gonna be a hell of a trip.
Yeah, I'm thinking about spending a week or 2 out in the core, just bing, 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 scanning everything before I head out to Beagle.
When I went to Sagittarius A star, and then I kind of sidetracked to Colonia, then went back up to a Sagittarius A star, then up to Beagle, then came back through Colonia to the bubble. On the way out to Sagittarius A star the first time around, I hit the neutron fields, and that was interesting because you just hit neutrons, you go economical, and you do 500 jumps on a tank or something silly like that because they're so close together. And yeah, every one of them then nets you a cool 45 or so.
What? So you do a neutron boost, and then because the jump's so short and you jump so big, it uses no fuel.
No, because they're so close together, you use virtually no fuel, and you don't even use the neutron boosts. If you try to do those, yeah, there's always that little risk, you know. But if you want to do
1% of your 1% of your FSD every single time, you don't want to do that.
No, you don't.
Unless you've got like good AFMUs and loads of refills.
But
If you go
I'm
into the
wrong,
neutron
you can
field with a
point after that.
shitload of AFM refills.
Well, the thing is, if you fly your DBX like I did, there is no space for an AFMU.
Yeah, I wouldn't be in a DBX. I'd be in something with AFMUs.
Warning, temperature critical.
I think I had two kind of smallish ones, 2 class 3s or something on my ASP Explorer last time I went out in an ASP.
Warning, taking heat damage.
Well, I've got an Anaconda kitted out for exploring, but I just find that thing so hideous to maneuver. I might actually start fixing out a SPEX for exploring.
Yeah, Aspects does handle nice. I can recommend an Orca for the handling, but not for the optional
Chieftain.
slots, unfortunately.
I love the Chieftain. I think the Chieftain's gonna be my next exploration chip just because of the way it handles,
Jump range,
the way
though.
it looks. You don't need jump range as so much for exploration. You can get it decent on there.
Oh, can you? I was thinking like kind of mid-30s light years. You can get it up to like over 40, can you?
If you get it at mid-30s, that's good enough. It takes you a bit longer to do the tractor beagle to get through the abyss with a shorter jump range, but you can do it. I mean, there's somebody that did it with a Sidewinder before engineering. Hello.
Did they really? That's epic. I didn't know that.
I have no idea how many jumps that poor bastard has done, or how long it has taken him. I mean, I did it in my DBX on a 36 light year jump. Yeah, I had to go around a bit to get over the abyss. My current DBX is engineered, and I get a 50 light year jump, so I might be able to make it straight through the abyss. Who knows?
Yeah, 50's decent. If you go engineering, no, not engineering, go material gathering for Jumponium before you go, then you should be alright.
I guess so. Got 9 200% injections ready to go. I won't use them this trip, but you know, I've got them.
I went crazy. Hang on, let me see what I've got. FSD injection 1, I got 30. 2, I've got 29. I must have used one. I've got 30 of each.
Oh, I have like 4. I'm going to be very risky when I'm going through that abyss.
I'm just thinking, however many I use on the way there, I'll want that many on the way back as well. In the bag, like, don't have to risk being able to find the planet with the right materials on it.
All else fails, just follow the spiral arm back to the core.
And in all fairness, the getting through the abyss, the danger there is that when you get cocky and you let your fuel tank go down too far, the way I did it is literally every scoopable, make sure you're full. And if you happen to get into a situation where you have less than half a tank or around half a tank, find the next scoopable.
The new plotting system must make that a little bit easier.
How many jumps do you have on your fuel tank? Like my exploration build I run currently, which I haven't been out to the very edges yet, as I've described. I've only really been in towards Colonia direction and out to Heart and Soul, but I run with 5 jumps, so my tank is 5 max jumps. Is that enough, do you think, for doing really deep stuff, or should I take more?
Well, it kind of depends, because the longer jumps use more fuel. If you
Yeah,
the
sorry,
same
five
distance.
five full range jumps. I mean, so yeah, if I switch on to economical, obviously I'll get a lot more. But 5 full range jumps is what, how many tanks I've got for.
Yeah, I think I got about 6 or 7 in my old DBX at pretty much max range.
Okay, so I'm in the right ballpark, possibly playing it a bit risky.
No, you're not playing it risky. You know, you'll be playing it risky if you let your fuel go down too much. You gotta stick. You gotta keep on paying attention. That's the bottom line.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, well, I think I can, in exchange for the extra jump range by having slightly smaller tanks, I can pay more attention. I suppose the alternative is sacking off the jump range and having a 64-ton tank in there somewhere.
Well, or keep to rule of thumb. If you have slightly less than half a tank, you can always use an FSD injection to get a bit more jump range to go back to the latest star where you have scooped.
Yeah, I suppose now we've got the little grey dotted line. That's easier now, isn't it? Yeah.
And you have EDSM as well. If you keep your flight log on there, you can just go back. Okay, that's where I could scoop. You know, you can see what type of star there is and where you've scooped.
Yes. Yeah. Hadn't thought of that because I only signed up to EDSM like less than a week ago, so it's that's all new to me. But yeah,
So-
good point.
FYI, you can load all of your previous journals into EDSM even past a week ago.
Yeah, I've logged mine back to like October 2016.
Yeah, I played the game for 2 years before I found an EDSM, so I dragged all of my logs in and left it running for. It took 2 days to finish loading all the logs.
Snap.
That poor hamster in that server.
Yay, I'm starting to see stars again. It was weird when I went all the way up above Waypoint 10.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello. How's everyone doing today?
Pretty good.
I'm good. On my way to Waypoint 11. Slightly late.
4, 3, 2, 1.
So what's everyone think about the new buff that's happening to the Type 9?
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I was thinking about buying a Type 10 when I got back because I don't have any big haulers rather than buying the Type 9. But now, I don't know whether I get a 9 or a 10.
What are they doing to it?
It's not going to be... People are saying the best cargo hauler out there right now.
They increased the size of the cargo capacity, so you can get another 200 and something on it.
Oh, shit smacks. Does that make it better? That makes it better than the Corvette then, right?
Well, what was the Imperial ship that had a good...
I didn't. I meant to say Clipper. I meant to say Clipper.
4,
Yeah,
3,
it is. Plus, if people want to get that one ship, they'll have to do that rank grind for it. Which royally, well, sucks for people who want to like do cargo runs, basically. But glad the Type 9 got that buff.
It's a bit surprising that they did that.
Well, from what I heard, they kind of looked at it and said, well, you know what, we've got the Type 10 now, so that kind of made the Type 9 kind of worthless, because you could get a Type 10 and get the same, and get the same cargo capacity. Plus,
Type 10 has less cargo capacity because the Type 10 changes some of the hard points for smaller hard points, or sorry, not hard points. It changes some of the internals to smaller internals, and it changes some of the internals to military internals.
okay, but I still heard from Frontier that the reason they did it was because it kind of made the Type 9 obsolete without it.
I guess it's a fair point. It's just, stack a second lunchbox on top of your flying lunchbox, and it's a double flying lunchbox.
Yeah, I just use my Anaconda, but after a while you kind of get tired of switching out components all the time, because I use my Anaconda for passenger missions too.
Oh, see, this is why you just have like 4 Anacondas.
Yeah, that's true.
I only have 2.
The Type 9 looks really enticing now, just for doing cargo runs.
Who was it who has the 2 Anacondas?
4, 3, 2,
That's me, Red 5.
Damn, Red. You must be loaded.
Oh, I was before I bought 2 Anacondas.
All right. If you think that's you gotta check chat. I currently have 4 Anacondas, a Type 10 fully kitted out for combat, a Beluga fully fitted out, and two asps. Oh no, 1 asp, the other one's sold, and a derpy eagle.
Well, if you accumulate enough money, you got to do something with it, right?
Well, you might as well buy ships.
I'm working on making a PvP Eagle, which is ridiculous. It has a ultra penetrator railgun on top and then 2 beam lasers on the side, which I can just strip anyone's shields. I run with no shields and a heat sink launcher, and you have to be within 2 meters to lock on to me.
Holy shit, that's loaded.
Which one?
Fuel scooping.
You're
complete.
loaded. I wish I had the credits that you had.
As you should look at the Type 10's hard points. You can do it by clicking Coriolis or ED Shipyard on the Type 10. I have 3 turrets. Each one of the turrets is 20 mil.
4,
Sorry, I have 4 of those.
2,
I have 4 of those turrets.
Holy shit. I'm surprised you still have the lightweight alloys on it.
That's because I haven't bothered to upgrade it yet. It's not fully done.
Oh, you have the credits for it, that's for sure.
I
Jesus.
totally messed up the naming of it. I had caps lock on, so it's lowercase r Idley's, lowercase r, all caps event,
fuel scooping
instead
complete.
of Ridley's Revenge. Because it's a Xeno Hunter, so it's Ridley's Revenge.
Nice one.
You do other things besides play this game, though, don't you?
Oh yeah, I work
Yeah.
50 to 60 hours a week.
I was just kidding.
Do you also sleep somewhere in between?
Eh.
That would be as a no. He's a fuel rat.
Yeah, I'm usually rescuing Forsaken commanders off in far gone corners of the galaxy. I'm one of the long-range fuel rats, as in I will go fuel rat you on the route to Colonia or on the route to Beagle Point. I don't care, I'll go rescue you.
Fuel scooping complete.
Good thing there are fuel rats like you then. I remember getting rescued by a fuel rat once, because that's when I was starting out. It says, fuel? What's that?
4, 3, 2, 1.
And that was before I knew about the fuel scoop.
Oh yeah, that's... I spent the... I can't talk. The majority of my time as a fuel rat is explaining "Oh, be a fine girl, kiss me."
Now I never travel out, never
K-
travel
KGB
without
phone.
one.
"Oh, be a fine girl, kiss me." You can scoop from O, B, A, F, G, K, M. Oh, be a fine girl, kiss me. All of the scoopable main sequence stars.
Or
Or-
just say the top bloody 7.
Or KGB foam.
See, KGB foam evokes images of Putin in a bubble bath. I don't want to evoke images of Putin in a bubble bath. I'd rather think of fine girls kissing.
I'm a bit older, I think of Yeltsin, but not in a bubble bath.
Yeah, but Putin's so small you can't see him in a bubble bath. He's pretty short.
That's the point. He's from the KGB. He's sneaky.
So were you one of the fuel rats involved in that insanely long distance run. Oh God, what was that? In just before Christmas?
No, I was
Somebody
not.
that flown, God knows how far away from the furthest jump that she could make.
Yeah, they went to Beagle Point and then they just went in normal Super Cruise, flying in a straight line away. And then they realized they couldn't jump out. So, I was on standby, but I was traveling through Europe at the time, so I didn't bring my computer.
Fair enough. That was some rescue.
To clarify, traveling through Europe while living in the United States.
Nice.
Hey, Dark.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, Michael. How's it going?
Getting crazy. So, where's everybody at? Waypoint 13, 14, 15, or Colonia?
Between today's waypoint and 14, I am.
Same here.
I'm
between 14 and 13. 13 and 13.
I'm 22 jumps out from waypoint 11.
Waypoint.
Ah, cool. I am on my way to 13 right now for some reason. I think I missed a day or something.
No, 13 is the
Only
meetup for today.
if you're on Euro time. If you're on US time, the meetup is today.
There you go. That explains it.
Euro one was like 2 hours. I'm not sure of the time zone, what EST is, so I don't know how long that is.
About 5 hours behind, I think. Something like that. Something close.
I don't think
It's 5 hours right now.
I don't think I've met up on a US one yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
you always-
usually in bed that time.
Yeah, you always seem to be on Euro time.
Well, a couple of reasons. One, it puts it midday for me, and I enjoy spending the evenings with my wife, and she enjoys that too. So, since I'm on the computer most of the day,
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same, except during the week, which means I'm working for the early part of the day, and then
Fuel scooping complete.
get to spend the rest of the evening elsewhere.
yeah. Well, fortunately, I'm retired, so I pretty much enjoy the day.
I did that once. Yeah, I just like to work actually, so.
Yeah, when I was very young, I decided I wanted to put my own money away because I didn't think that there would be anything, businesses come and go, and who can depend on the government for Social Security. So from my 20s, I've been putting about 30% of my income away. So I just decided one day that, I've got enough put away, I'm going to retire.
Ah, good for you. I'll probably retire when I croak, I expect.
Yeah, I did the retirement thing, and I just kind of went, you know what? I got to have something to do. It's not about the money anymore. It's about staying busy, making sure that I have a goal or whatever. It's just something to do, really.
And that's a good thing. I know a lot
So
of
you
people
play
like
Elite,
that.
huh?
Well, I could play Elite, but it, just playing Elite all day long every day is, yeah, you'd probably just get burned out, wouldn't you? You think?
I know
You
I
say
would.
that, but I've shown you my fleet.
Well, I mean, if you looked at the time that I've played, you probably think that I played every day for hours on end, which I guess I have every once in a while. But yeah, I've got in actual game time is over a year, so that's pretty significant, I think.
That is quite a bit, because I've been playing the game since it came out, and I've only got less than 8 weeks.
Yeah, I've got like 32 weeks and some change, and then I have an alt that has about 4 weeks on it, so
Yeah.
I guess when I play it, but I don't think I could do it as a living.
Yeah, I have to admit,
I've got to do something else.
I'm a pretty casual
I've been in the
player.
game, it's a closed beta, and I don't have 6 weeks knocked up. Jesus. And those days, exploring was really interesting, as you could initially not route plan at all, and then later I think you could plan 150 light years.
100 light years, and then 100, and then it went to 1,000 or something like that, and then you were able to go outside that bubble, right? Actually, it was 100, and then you could go outside the bubble, and they made that.
Yeah, I went out to the bubble. Where did I go to? To Barnett's Loop, I believe. And yeah, the route planning was all pencil and paper.
Yeah, individual plots.
Yeah, I did that as well. As a matter of fact, I think I still have my notebook.
Oh, I have spreadsheets like you wouldn't believe. Or you probably would, actually. You probably had the same kind of thing.
Yep.
So, Rude, how do you log between your PC accounts for Elite? Because I was looking at the special offer on Sunday, and I was considering like getting a second account, but then I was like reading like the scripts and stuff people had had to write to be able to flick between them, and I was like, oh, that's too much hassle for me, so I didn't buy it.
Well, there's a couple ways. The way I chose is, since I've been playing since the beta.
You want to answer that, Rude? I can.
No, yeah.
Scripts.
You do have that. The way I did it, I've been playing since the beta, so I had a Frontier account, and then I got a Steam account, and so they're different. You get a different. You log in differently for them, and that's the way I was doing it.
Right, okay, yeah, I don't have Steam. I got a Frontier account too.
Well, and Dark probably has a way, because there is a way that you can use the taskbar.
You can't have both of them running at the same time on the same computer at all, period.
Yeah, I wouldn't need that.
But you can copy or download the downloader, the starter program. Make a
launcher,
make a copy of that, put it in a folder that's right next to the standard folder, and log in with your other. And then you can copy the entire contents of the original download, and put it underneath that. I think you may have to download it the first time, or you may have to do an op check. It basically goes through and checks all the files and makes sure they're all right. So if you deselect a couple of the files and don't copy them over, it probably won't run. But then it'll try to download, and it'll be really quick. And then once it's downloaded and you have it in those two separate folders, you just select whichever icon your commander of that particular game is. So
are you using the Steam version, Kilo?
I actually bought
I
the
don't have
second.
Steam.
I actually bought the second one off of Steam, but I downloaded it from the FDev account.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, if you have a Steam account, you can go to Frontier and ask for a key, which is what I did, And
That's what I did.
and I can actually play both of mine on one computer, but not at the same time. But because they're two different loadables, you know, launch pads. I launched one from Steam, and the other one I just launched. So I've got two icons on my desktop, and if I want to play one, I click on one. If I want to play the other, I click on the other, and there's no problem at all. But
And that's exactly what I have too. Each individual logon
Fuel scooping complete.
has its own commander to it. So I mean, it's all the FDev stuff, and I have two Elite Dangerous icons. One of them is marked for one commander, and one of them is marked for the other. And they play off of two different files or folders.
right. Well, and the other thing I did, just because I'm paranoid, is when I signed up for the Steam account, I used a complete different email, and of course I had a different ID, so they're not the same.
Now, if I was going to do this again, what I would do is I would make that second folder, and then one user on my computer would be for one commander, and the other user would be for the other commander. And that way you'll have all the user files and all of the journals would be separated automatically, and you don't have to go back in and separate them if you want them in different folders.
Oh,
Not that that really matters because they're under different names. So like EDSM and EDD only care about the one that you have selected.
yeah.
But I wanted them in separate folders, so I go back through and take them out and put them in different folders.
Yeah, that's true.
So I would do that instead of what I have. Just set them up one commander per user, and then just log in on that user to use that commander.
Yeah.
But it would be the same folder-wise. And once you download one of those games, if you download one, your first commander, you can copy over that entire folder structure to the other folder, and it will play just like you downloaded it. And you can log in with your other commander. That's how I do it.
Yeah, I went a little bit further. I've got them both on different drives too.
Oh, yeah, you're going wild with that.
Well, I keep I've got two SSD drives and two large just storage drives, and I download all my Steam stuff to one drive, and any other game that I've got that's not Steam, I download to the other drive.
That sounds pretty sensible.
And the only thing on my SSD is Windows.
So I hope that answers your question there, Kilo.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You know, it's kind of like I said before, the main reason people say, why do you have two accounts? And I said, well, because I was out exploring in space and I kept missing everything that was happening in the bubble.
3, 2, 1.
Or you just start going stir crazy out here, and you want to do something else. You know, you want to go kill pirates, or bounty hunt, or trade something, or just take a run with your friends in the SRV in the bubble somewhere. So yeah, that's the reason I had to get the second one, because crazy is crazy.
I'm a one-person account.
But you're already crazy.
True.
Anyone here program in Lua?
4, 3, 2, 1.
What?
Anyone here ever?
I heard of it, but I don't know anything about the language.
Never used Lua, sorry.
All right, I have arrived at 14.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. So, are you going to be starting a fourth account now because you're going to be missing what goes on in the bubble and you've got all three of your accounts out here?
All right. Well, you know, I know you're kidding, and you're probably not going to believe this because I did mention, Dark, I've got a PS4 account too, and I've got all three of them on this trip.
Right, I know. Remember.
But I was thinking about getting an Xbox One, but I don't know. I don't think I will.
Well, I do have this game for the Xbox One. Problem is, I want to get that HOTAS before I make another attempt on flying well on a bloody controller.
You know, some
Yeah, I
people
tried
actually
that
swear
flying
by
with an
it.
Xbox controller. It's impossible.
I have seen some seriously good fighter pilots that fly only off the Xbox controller. That's all they use.
I think it would be very similar than DualShock, no?
Yeah, probably.
Well, I use a HOTAS, and you know, I know how to control my ship with HOTAS, but with the Xbox controller, no, not for me.
I think I would, because I use the DualShock 4, so I think would be very similar.
Yeah, I'm not a real other game player either. When it comes to hitting buttons that don't make any real sense to me. Oh, I got to hit an X button. Okay, where is that?
That's
Looks familiar.
that's my problem, and I don't have real good eye-hand coordination either.
You give me a stick and throttle or a steering wheel, and I am good to go. But if I have to punch somebody with a Y key, I'm like, huh?
What?
Yeah, I got to hit the Y button or the X button or the square or the circle or. Okay, which one is which? I'm lost.
I'm one of those console players that everybody else makes fun of. They call me a button masher because I just start mashing buttons until something happens.
Yeah, I'm not just a button masher. I'm one of those dodgers as well. So I'll hit the right hand button and I'll dodge to the right. I'll hit the left hand button. You know, and as I'm moving, nothing on the screen is really happening. And
Well, for me, the letters of Xbox controller is pretty easy, but the PlayStation figures I can't memorize. So it's better tell me the Xbox One correspondence, and I hit it at the DualShock 4.
Oh, the games I really had problems with on the console are those games like Mortal Kombat and those kind of things where you have to hit this button and that button and this one with your nose and that one with your foot. Oh, that's I started mashing buttons.
so it was like right, left, up, down, X, Y, something like that, right? And you had to get that series of keystrokes, and you know what? Forget that. I'm not playing this game anymore.
Oh yeah, and in between all that, you're saying which one is X, which one is Y.
Right, trying to figure it out.
Oh, God.
In the meantime, you're getting your ass handed to you in the game. You know, that's not really very fun.
I played Mortal Kombat. Not that bad.
Well,
See,
my daughters.
I'm terrible at it, but I play single player, and they still kick my ass.
My daughters were awesome at that stuff because they would learn through the tutorials, you know, how to do the things that you're supposed to do, and then they would just do it and learn it, and then they'd have it. Whereas I had to go through it 15 times just to figure out the simplest thing. So I learned long ago that a lot of the console games are probably not for me.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten in a console game and had to have my son come in and finish it up for me.
Right.
Whoa.
Oh, Uncharted Neutron Star. Gotta like it.
Scan detected.
That's the sound the cones are making right now.
Well, something's waving its hands at me.
Throw your ejection cones in the air like you just don't care?
That's old school. And it's old enough school that I remember.
3, 2, 1.
I sure wish they'd brought back the double jump, because that was so cool to have.
Double
Well,
jump?
some games still do it.
Not this game.
Oh.
Oh, so you can, you mean jet cone boosting and then setting it up so your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 goes through the cone to
You
get
get the
another jet
double.
cone
Yeah,
boost?
yep. Yeah, they took that away from what I understand. I have yet to make it work since that time.
Yeah, I only heard about that just about the time they took it away.
I missed that, yeah.
Oh, it was wonderful. You'd get that 250 light year jump, and then as you're jumping to that 250 light year place, you would charge up your FSD one more time in mid jump, and you just go on from there. 500 jumps in less than 2 minutes. That was just great.
See, I use the Spant plotter a lot, so it'll just jump you neutron star to neutron star to neutron star. But for some reason Spant was crashing yesterday. I haven't tried it today.
The only problem I have with Spanch is that it's already stars and stuff that have been discovered. So most of the time, this is my first trip that I've ever really gone to Colonia along a designated path, so to speak. And usually I go on my own path and find my own way, and a lot more undiscovereds that way.
Yeah, I was mentioning that earlier. You know how some backpack hikers will laugh at people on certain trails where they say that's not a trail, that's a sidewalk or a highway.
Yeah, the highway.
Well, that's kind of what I felt about this trip. You know, why didn't you bring any repair stuff? And I said, because I'm on a highway.
There are rest stops, and there's bathrooms, and there's toilet paper, and you know, you really don't need anything else.
There is outfitting on this route.
Right? That crazy.
I guess it's I guess it's a way of getting the uninitiated explorers along the way.
Yeah, it was good for me to be able to like fly a different ship too, because I got like my exploration Anaconda that's all AFMUs and everything, but this time I'm flying an Orca that doesn't have any AFMUs.
Actually, the only reason I took well, there was two reasons I took the Conda. One, because Great Test wanted people to take the Conda if they could for the show at the end, so to speak. And then I was going to go north after this, so I would have taken something else. Maybe my Python would have done very well in this particular expedition.
Confirmed contact. Engaging.
I don't recall seeing a Python yet. Are there any on the trip that you know of?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen one.
I've seen one or two at the launch.
I love my Python. I think my Python's probably my favorite ship.
I think mine is definitely my favorite ship. Although, what I've done in the beta with that Chieftain, that looks like it's going to be kind of fun.
Oh
that's
yeah.
gonna be my exploration ship.
I love the way it sounds. I like the way it flies, and I'm not a combat pilot in the least.
I'm a combat pilot in the least.
I am as well, and I like that ship for combat. I just watched one of the SDC guys, Mango, Hazard Mango. He took 4 other ships on with that thing and did a pretty damn fine job of taking them out.
Yeah, and one of those 4 other ships was another Chieftain as well.
Yep. Took him down really quick.
I watched a Vindicator Jones one yesterday on that Chieftain.
I haven't seen the one from Vindicator, so I don't know what he says about it, but I'd be curious.
Well, so far I haven't heard anybody say they didn't like it.
Well, there's 1% still waiting for but he's gonna wait after the beta so he can further review it.
That must be
The
Yamix, right?
Yamix.
Yeah, he's gonna wait for the real thing.
Because I believe it's probably gonna change after the beta. So people who reviewed this ship early,
It's possible.
may want to put like a reduct review after the beta is done.
Well, there are chances that they'll change it. They've changed ships before. One ship that they should change is the Cobra Mark IV. As a flying turd and a half.
Yeah. Actually, it's not a bad stealth ship if you know how to fly it. But other than that, it's really got no place in the world.
No, I love my Colonia Mark III. I still do, but that Mark IV, that's a flying turd.
Well, unless you want to collect all the ships in the game and say, ah, fuck it.
I'm sure there was a point to that.
Yeah, maybe if I have another 5 trillion in the bank or something, but I don't.
I've got most of the ships. I don't have them all yet because some of them I just didn't like and don't want to have anything to do with them. But yeah, I've got the Cobra 4 and I've got a special purpose for it, so it comes in handy for certain things.
Ship.
You know, I could use it for a mining ship. It just doesn't have the capacity. I'd rather use my Python or a Conda or even a T10, T9 to do mining, if that was what I was going to go out and do. Even an ASP is a better miner than the Mark IV.
Oh, I always use my Mark III to do long-range rare good runs, you know, and I love that ship. That's how I initially started making money. But yeah, then the Mark IV, yeah, not fast enough. Not, you know, that one little extra hard point. Sorry, didn't do it for me.
And that's why
the Python's the king of the rare goods run.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but. That's why I use that Mark IV for stealth kind of attacks, and it's actually quite good at that. It's not for rare trading or anything like that. Just build it up with a bunch of hull reinforcements and send it in on glide, and it just slides right by people. They don't even notice.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time in my Python. I like using the Python for missions. That's my top thing for it.
Since I got a Conda, I've just everything I wanted to do in a Python, I now just do in the Conda. The only problem with the Conda is the large pad.
Well, I got my repairs and my cartography done. I think I'm going to leave the Polo Harbor and find a place out just on the outside of town and park.
Okay. Oh, I sent you a link in the chat, Rude.
Oh, okay. Let me take a look. I stepped away for a minute.
Yeah, no worries.
Ship detached. Take care when exiting the port.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Kilo, I already brought my other 2 accounts here. They're sitting here too. Although the PS4, obviously you won't be able to see.
Yeah, I'm only one jump out, but I'm flying towards an Earth-like that's 65,000 light seconds away, so I'm going to be a little while.
Easy decision, that.
Yeah, it's already been discovered because I'm only one jump away, so I guess there's probably loads of people come through here, but it's
I think
money.
I got that exact one. What system is it?
Hold on. It is BOE-Wunst PA-L space D9-608.
Yeah,
It's got two water worlds and an ammonia world in it.
Yeah, I was there.
You're not Draken, are you? Draken is the guy who's got his name on everything.
Nah.
Still, 2 water worlds and an ammonia world. That's a few bob, isn't it?
Yeah. And if there were terraformable, that's even sweeter.
The ammonia world and the first water world weren't terraformable. I don't know about this one because I haven't got there yet.
I just got a flyby with somebody with their chaff on. There's stuff sprinkled all over the place. It's like fairy dust.
Confetti!
Oh boy. Who's in charge of the confetti?
Wow, that's quite the python there.
Yeah, it's a lovely trader. It's like fast enough and maneuverable enough to be able to, like, if you're smuggling anything, it's good. It's got nice shield. And yeah, jump range is excellent, I think, for a cargo ship. But yeah, you can make quite good money doing the rare goods circuits with that if you try and make sure you're full most of the time. And if you get interdicted, you're fast enough to outrun anything that can mass lock you.
Well, I might hit you up when we get back to the bubble on this engineering stuff, because I absolutely know nothing about it.
The main thing to know is where to find the materials, and then once you've got the materials, you just go throw them at the engineers and they give you stuff. Have you unlocked them all yet, or any of them?
The engineers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got the two that I'm main concerned about are Felicity and Elvira, and I've got both of those.
Yeah, they are the two keystone engineers because they've got such a wide variety of mods that you can, just using those two engineers, you can modify a very usable ship.
Let's see, I've got Felicity, Elvira, the Dweller, and Todd the Blaster.
Yeah, the Dweller's a good guy to get to know as well if you're going to do the black market things. Takes about an hour.
Yeah, you would need Palin also.
That's the one.
No, you might need it for top end PvP or something.
No.
But grade 3 is pretty decent for dirties.
Yep, grade 3 is pretty much a go-to for any.
This Palin.
Well, you need.
Palin is the
Palin
only
is
one.
good.
Don't get me wrong, I've unlocked Palin, I've got Dirty Drive 5 on everything, and I love it. But if you're just interested in making a decent ship a bit better, 3's okay.
I'm just interested in flying fast. Nothing else, man.
Yeah, well, that's why I built this Orca that I'm flying right now. Everything's as lightweight as I can get, but it's got 6A thrusters with dirty drive 5. It's so fast. It's hilarious.
Not just fast, it's also powerful. So under how can I say, underrated thruster with dirty 5 can thrust that much than a normal A-rated thruster. And you can do it, for example, first of all, if you're using a big ship for exploration, for example, that you can use these underrated thrusters with dirty 5 even in 6G planets, as I used.
Yeah, I've
But you
got
could also just
underrated on my Explorer Conda, but on the Orca I've got A-rated with dirty 5. So it's just a bit crazy, because it's got no other weight on it, really.
God, you can't even get out here without getting that wedding barge thing. Oh my god.
Oh, that might have been me, sorry.
Oh, did you get married?
No, I'm just in an Orca. They're normally like what wedding barges are in, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh
Happy
boy. I remember seeing this video a long time ago. It says this. If I see one more damn wedding barge, I'm gonna kill him. But he ran into one wedding barge and interdicted and just saying, the first and last day they